Good morning, champs! How are you doing today? I hope you're all doing great. It's time to activate your learning cells. I am Teacher Kai and I will introduce to you what you will be learning for this next module. This is the module that you will be using. Today, you will be learning about using complex sentences to show problem-solution relationships of ideas. This was developed by Teacher Kazayaline Bagayaw. You are encouraged to actively engage yourself in exploring the module. Read the directions carefully and do the learning activities provided. After the lesson, you are expected to master the desired competency and to achieve the following learning objectives. You should be able to identify problem-solution relationship in sentences. Match a problem clause with its solution clause. And third, write complex sentences to show problem-solution relationship using appropriate subordinating conjunctions or transition words. In our previous lesson, you have learned that a complex sentence is made up of an independent clause and one or more dependent clause whose ideas are related. These ideas are connected by subordinations or transition words such as so that, unless, because, whenever, since, and in order to. Let's read the sentence. You rest and sleep if you have a bad cold. This sentence is an example of a complex sentence. It has an independent clause and a dependent clause joined by a subordinating conjunction if. Remember the position of dependent clauses and the use of comma in a complex sentence. Let's read the second sentence. Since you are having a toothache, you are not allowed to eat sweets. This is another example of a complex sentence, but this time, the dependent clause comes before the independent clause. In this example, the subordinating conjunction is used to introduce the dependent clause. Take note that if a dependent clause comes first before an independent clause, a comma is required. Before we proceed to the lesson, kindly answer the pre-assessment entitled What I Know. This activity will measure what you already know about the topic. After answering the What I Know, read and do the activity on what's in. If you encounter any difficulty in answering the task, do not hesitate to ask help from your learning buddies. It could be your parents, your sister, or your brother. Make sure that do the activity with honesty and with all your best. Let's start with what's new. Let's find out how the problems and their suggested solutions are presented. Read the big words on the screen. Respiratory disease. What is a respiratory disease? Respiratory disease is a type of disease that affects the lungs and other parts of the respiratory system. What pictures can you see in the screen? These are some of the symptoms of a person having a respiratory sickness. He or she will experience difficulty in breathing, cough, chest pain, and others. Let's find out some of the solutions how to get rid of this disease. More and more children in the neighborhood were becoming sick of respiratory diseases, so the barangay officials planned out some action. The entry of vehicles was limited, so that fumes exhaust would be lessened. Since smoking cigarettes harms the health of children, smokers and families were advised not to. Families too were told to use water-based paints, odorless detergents, and scented soaps, and other mild cleaning agents so that children would not inhale the offensive odor. The people were encouraged to plant more trees and other plants in their yards in order that air around would be cleaner. From the text that you have read, answer the following questions. What is the main problem cited? What specific problems are caused? What solutions are offered? What kind of sentences are used to present the problem and solutions? These questions are written in the What's New part with this corresponding icon in your module. Don't forget to always answer in a complete sentence. Now, let's proceed to what is it. Here is the big idea. Complex sentences may express problem-solution relationship. A problem-solution sentence is a sentence where there is a concerning issue and remedy to the said issue. The ideas are connected by appropriate subordinating conjunctions or transition word. Let's read this example. Children in the neighborhood were becoming sick of respiratory diseases, so the barangay officials planned out some action. Are the ideas of the sentence related? Yes, it is. Which states the problem? How about the solution? This underlined clause states the problem. This clause states the solution. So how are these ideas combined? These ideas are combined or connected using subordinating conjunctions or transition words. We use the transition word so to combine the two ideas. Notice that comma is used to separate the problem from the solution. Take note that these subordinating conjunctions may be used at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence as shown in the following examples on the slides. A comma is used to separate the problem from the solution. Let's have more examples. Let's have some clues. Problem clause is written in italics, solution clause is underlined, and the subordinating conjunction is encircled. The entry of vehicles was limited so that fumes exhaust would be lessened. What clause shows the problem? What clause shows the solution? What subordinating conjunction or transition word is used to connect the ideas together? In this example, we used so that to combine the two ideas. Next, since smoking cigarettes harms the health of children, smokers and families were advised not to. What clause shows the problem? What clause shows the solution? In this example, what clause comes first? Always remember that if a dependent clause comes first before the independent clause, it is always introduced by a subordinating conjunction. In this example, we use the subordinating conjunction since. What separates the problem and the solution? It's the comma. Third, families were told to use water-based paints, odorless detergents, unscented soaps, and other mild cleaning agents so that children would not inhale the offensive odor. What clause shows the problem? What clause shows the solution? What subordinating conjunction or transition words is used to connect the ideas together? In this example, we used the subordinating conjunction so that. Another example. The people were encouraged to plant more trees and other plants in their yards in order that air around would be cleaner. Again, what clause shows the problem? What clause shows the solution? In this sentence, what clause comes first? Is it the dependent clause or the independent clause? What subordinating conjunction did we use to combine the two ideas? In this example, we used in order that. Let's read, remember. You can use complex sentences to show problem-solution relationship with the help of appropriate subordinating conjunctions or transition words to connect them. Make sure that you understand how complex sentences can show problem-solution relationships. Read the "What is it" part with this corresponding icon. To master your lesson, do the activities presented in the module with the corresponding icon, what's more, what I have learned, and what I can do. To measure how much you've learned in your lesson, you need to answer the assessment part. If you got 8 and above, then you are ready to proceed to the next module. But if you got 7 and below, you need to go back to the activities where you got low. I can say that you are ready for the challenging task in your module. Read the directions carefully and finish the task presented. And lastly, answer it with a happy heart. You can do it, champ! Happy learning!